Welcome to the JAMODI podcast, where we interview coaches and leaders to find out not just what they do, but how they do what they do. Becoming the best version of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it.
Life is just, you make it really what it is. And most of life is how you respond to all the adversity. Because adversity is going to come. It's going to come every day. My personal goal and what I try to teach our students and players and my own kids is don't create your adversity with stuff that you think, you say, you do. Don't create it. It's just going to come. There's going to be enough adversity that come, and you really only have two alternatives, in my opinion. You either take the low road or the high road. The low road, you get mad, and discouraged, and angry, and turn to addictions. It's just a train wreck when stuff happens and you don't respond with the high road. The high road is try to do it the right way. And the right way is when somebody makes you mad or somebody hates you or whatever it is. Maybe you have an accident, a wreck, somebody run. There's all kind of adversity that will come.
You're right.
Is just take the high road. And the high road, the good book says, is to love your neighbor as yourself, which means that neighbor might be an enemy. They may not like you. There may be people out there that don't like the way you teach, you coach, the way you live. It doesn't make, there's just going to be adversity. And if you take the high road and you just forgive them, and that's hard to do, then the good book says, not only do you forgive them, then you bless them, then you pray for them. Call their names, the people that hate you. When you're able to do that, it lightens the load. That's taking the high road. You're doing it God's way.
Yeah.
And so those are things that we would teach our students and players as to how to respond. Like Larry Johnson, he started as a freshman, and he's 6'2", 190. And he just wanted to be the best he could be. He wanted to be the best. And so we tried to help him to get the best he could be, not only as a player, but as a person and as a student. See, all that's real important to me. And so when you take that approach, you have a lot of teaching to do.
Yeah.
And, we just didn't play with grades. We didn't change grades and go talk to teachers about changing grades. And we didn't talk to principals about changing grades. Whatever grade they gave you, that's what you got. And if you don't pass, then you don't play. And if you don't do what we ask you to do at practice, because practice is real important. Some people may not think so. I remember our friend Allen Iverson, national TV practice.
That's
practice.
Right.
What is that?
Yeah.
But it's just so important to do what you're asked to do. And we call that obedience. And we'd encourage our students and players to obey quickly, completely, and joyfully. Because you're going to be doing things that you will not want to do, because it's hard work to get in shape to play basketball. Conditioning is hard work. Developing your quickness and your strength, it's hard work. It's, there's hundreds of basketball fundamentals. How are you going to, all these fundamentals, left hand, right hand, jump stops, blocking out, rebounding, how are you going to do all that? Well, it takes a lot of practice, and you have to do it the right way. And so we were just blessed that the kids bought into those things, and I'm just so proud of our former students and players that they're making a contribution for our society. When you do that, there's 6 steps to your destiny. 6 steps. It starts with your thinking. And if you thought life is not right, in Philippians 4:8, it tells us what to think about. Things that are true, honest, just, pure, lovely, things that are good report, things that are excellent, clean. And for boys, the male species in general, it's a challenge to keep you thinking right, because you get you thinking from what you're looking at and what you're listening to.
Yeah.
If you're looking at poo-poo and you're listening to poo-poo, that means you're probably, the second step is talking. And the third step is your actions. And so if your thinking is in order, you're thinking right, and we have a sheet for that, that they can take home and look at it. And I tell them to put these sheets up like in their bedroom, on their in the bathroom. Ask your parents or who you're living with. You can put that up, and you look at how to get along with others. So 6 be quicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You learn these different things, like the 6 steps to destiny, and it all starts with you thinking. Man, if you can keep your thinking right, the key for me is when you do get a bad thought, what do? That's the key, because if you don't take care of that bad thought, it festers.
Right.
And you know what happens.
Yeah.
It
snowballs down. Yep.
Yeah. And that means that your thinking's not right, your talking's not right, your doing's not right, your actions are not right. Then that means your repeated actions, those habits, they're not right. So that means your character's a mess. And if your character's a mess, your destiny's going to be a mess. The 6 steps is your thinking, your talking, your acting, your habits, the character, and your destiny. That's your future. And for us, we want to go to heaven.
That's right.
Yeah, and we want to make an impact on society, doing these different things of loving others. Humility is just exalting others. And one of the things that our players really bought into, I felt like, was this humility thing. We had a lot of media coverage, whether it was radio, TV, the newspapers. I think they came not just because we had really good players, but we would teach our players that when you were complimented, you say thank you, like you do in those 6 be quicks. When somebody complimented you, say thank you, and show that gratitude of appreciation. But as soon as you do that, you divert the attention from you to your teammates, to the manager, to the fans, to your dear mom.
Yeah.
Anybody you can think of, but say thank you. But it's all about the team. It's all about my teammates. And man, they don't understand that, because it's that old thing about planting, sowing and reaping. And so if you sow that one kernel of corn, you're going to reap, thousands of kernels of corn if you take care of it. If you fertilize it, you water it, and keep the weeds out. And that's the way life is. I just tried to parlay those things into life and into hoops, because if you don't practice correctly, and if you don't obey, I'd say this to them: just not only be quick to obey, and obey quickly and joyfully, but do what we ask you to do. Do as we say. Do exactly as we say. Do as we say. Do exactly as we say. Don't deviate, and we'll have a shot of executing when you do what we ask you to do on the basketball floor, in practice, in the games, and also in life. I can't tell you the number of times we went on a lot of trips too. Dallas teams didn't go on trips. And so I'd raise money for us to go out of state. People began to give to us. And I remember we'd go eat a meal like after a game in Oklahoma or Missouri. We flew to New York, expenses paid, to high school team in New York City. When you have good players and good teams. But I remember us sitting at a table eating, and we dress up on game day. It's a special day. I love those special days. They dress up, and so we'd go out to eat, and we'd be at they'd be 15 of us, 20, whatever it was. And we'd always bless the food. And I'd teach them how to sit at the table, put their left arm on the table, and just some basic things. People would come over and not only compliment them. I've had people put $100 bills, lay it down to pay for the meal.
Wow.
Because of what they observed out of those kids. And I would tell them, this is what this person we didn't even know, just because you acted right, that means you're probably thinking right, you're talking right, you're acting right, your habits are pretty good, because they would actually take showers and clean up and just do all kind of things that boys don't normally do.
Right.
And open doors for ladies and pick up trash in the hallway, those kind of things. People, I think, really respect that. So because of that, we were able to get a lot of donations to help the kids with whatever we needed help with. And as you know, there's a lot to it. You just can't do it on $500.
Yeah,
for the year. And so we just tried to make it real special for them. It wasn't for me. It was for them. It was the team. When we'd win a trophy, our commitment to them was put their names on that trophy. Whatever trophy it was, we'd put their names, and the managers and the videographer, the statistician, we'd put their names on it. And if it was a championship trophy, we'd get a banner. And on that banner, their names would be on that banner. I took it off from me and put it on them. Then once it got to them, then they put it on their teammates.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.